Hello everybody, welcome back to the News and Duval YouTube channel. This is Mafia here, back with you for another video, and in today's video we're going to be covering highly touted NFL prospect Justin Fields. Now, Fields has been mocked by many to go number 2 overall to the Jaguars, and in today's video we're going to talk about his strengths, his concerns, and we're even going to look at multiple clips, good and bad, of Fields, and to see why or why not he will succeed at the NFL level. Jumping right into this, Fields' first strength for me is exceptional mobility. Now, what this means to me is he has some of the best mobility that you will ever find in a quarterback prospect, besides Lamar Jackson and maybe Kyler Murray. Fields was reported to run a 4.3 flat, which is unheard of for a quarterback, and if it lands up being true, he's almost going to be a lock at the number 2 pick. He could even go number 1 overall if that's true, because that's unheard of from a quarterback prospect. And Fields overall has such explosiveness, and it's special what he's able to do with his legs, with the ball in his hands. As a runner from the quarterback position, he has exceptional vision, above average speed, above average acceleration. I mean, he can do it all from a running standpoint from the quarterback position, which is the way the league's going, and it could land up being one of his best attributes, and as to why he succeeds in the NFL. The second strength I have listed is the arm talent to make most NFL throws. And what this means is Fields maybe doesn't have the arm of Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, somebody of that caliber, but he has the arm to make all the throws you need to win football games. He has accurate throws to short, accurate throws to medium, and accurate throws to deep, which is all you can ask for in today's NFL. And the way the league is going, and you combine his speed, that's all he realistically needs to succeed, which is why this isn't a major concern to me. I mean, he has the arm talent to make the throws. We've seen it time and time again. He has the arm talent to throw it a good 50 yards down the field accurately, which is about all you need in today's NFL. And then the third one for me is his NFL caliber build. Now, what I mean by this is his body, essentially. He has a 6'3", 225 frame, which is extremely impressive considering how quick he is with the running the ball. And he has a frame that's built to last at the NFL. So a lot of concern with running quarterbacks is they do not have a frame that can last after taking hits and hits and hits when running the ball consistently. But Fields has a frame that's built enough where he can bounce off of hits and get right back up and not even be thinking about being injured at times, which gives him an ability that not many running quarterbacks have. I mean, he could be a quarterback for 15 years in the NFL and still be running it 100 times a year in his 15th year, which is going to be extremely special if he is able to stay healthy in that caliber. And him having the NFL caliber build to do so is such an important attribute to why he's such a top prospect, and it really shows you that he's actually a special talent if you truly look past him going to Ohio State, which is not a school known for its quarterback prospects. Now to look at his concerns that I have. The first concern for me, his decision making hasn't been pushed enough. And what I mean by this is he's not under pressure enough to truly judge his decision making when under pressure, because almost all of his top throws are in a clean pocket, which he will not have as much as he has at Ohio State in the NFL, making this one of my top concerns for him. But the only thing he has going for him in that regard is it something that he will learn over time the more reps he gets at the NFL level. So that'll be more of a time thing than anything. The second one is most of his good throws are in a clean pocket, which is what I just touched on, but I'll go a little bit more in detail. So essentially what I mean by this is all of his good throws are where there's no defender within 5 yards of him. Meaning, can he truly make a 30-yard down the field accurate throw with a defender in his face or while he's being hit? And I truly don't know if Fields can do that, which is a major concern for me because at the NFL level, you need to be able to do this. And then the third one for me is his overall awareness and ability to move the safety with his eyes. So overall awareness is more of a vague one. It's essentially like his awareness in the pocket and his awareness of the defenders on the field, and specifically his ability to move the safety with his eyes. That's something he didn't really possess at Ohio State, and you see it with most of his interceptions being from that. It's not a major concern for me though, because you can teach it out of him with time and maturity to where he can use his eyes to manipulate the safeties in a way that's beneficial to him instead of hurting him. Jumping right into the clips, in this first one, Fields breaks off an impressive run showing off elite acceleration and speed for a quarterback. He overall shows off his good running vision and how explosive a play he can add to an offense as a running quarterback, and how much it really gives a huge bonus to have a quarterback with this type of ability. This second clip shows off something that is probably one of my favorite things about Fields, and it shows off his running ability in the red zone. Having this type of speed and running ability in the red zone makes him an absolute weapon that defenses have to pay attention to and they have to be ready for on all four downs within the red zone, making it so much easier to open up the play calls and to open up the playbooks in the red zone and ultimately scoring more touchdowns. Here we see Fields make a nice back shoulder throw, and he puts it in a place where only the receiver can get it. It was a nice catch by the receiver as well, but Fields placed the ball perfectly away from the defender, who was surprisingly in decent position overall, and he put it in a place where only the wide receiver could make a play on the ball. This clip of Fields is one of my favorite clips overall in this entire video. Fields uses his elite mobility by casually rolling out to the right and throwing a perfect ball on the run to the corner of the end zone where only his receiver can make a play on the ball, and he honestly makes this look effortless, even though this is what I would consider an NFL throw. This is the type of throws you have to make in the NFL to be successful, and Fields makes it look effortless. What you're watching right here is what makes me most excited about Fields. Fields goes for the correct read and realizes that the defense has good coverage throughout the entire end zone, and this was not a designed run in any means. Fields was supposed to throw this ball, but due to Fields having the elite mobility that he has, he's able to use his legs and get the touchdown anyway, even though the defense made the perfect call and had every option that Fields had on this play covered perfectly. Now we're going to take a look at all three of Fields' interceptions against Indiana and what he did wrong with each one. So looking at the first one, this one doesn't concern me as much as the other two. Fields makes the right read. Fields just simply didn't look off the safety and threw the ball slightly inside instead of down the seam, and this ultimately ended in a pick. And this is the one that is relatively easy to fix with coaching, is by far the least concerning for me with Fields. Here, Fields is somewhat concerning for me. Fields senses the pressure nicely and attempts to avoid it, but gets caught, and uses his core strength to get rid of the ball, avoiding a sack, which is all good, but instead of just throwing it away, he tries to, while being sacked, throw a 50-50 ball, and it lands up being batted in the air and picked off. This is a terrible decision overall, and he needs to understand when it's easier to just throw the ball away. This interception is just plain stupid to me. I can't even try to make an excuse for this decision by Fields. Yes, I understand it's third down and throwing it away doesn't help the drive move along anymore, but there's absolutely no reason while being dragged to the ground that he should just float the ball into the middle of the field and in no man's land where he has no idea where his receivers or defenders are. This is a terrible decision and he needs to really rethink this one overall. Now, Fields has clear pros and cons to his game, but in my honest opinion, from a scouting standpoint, I feel like taking him at number 2 is our best option, simply off of his potential. All of his cons and his mistakes are things that coaching can fix, and ultimately he will learn as he grows older and matures his game. But some of the things that you cannot teach is to run a 4-4 or rumored 4-3 and teach the mobility and overall game style that Fields has. It's so extremely rare to get a quarterback with the physical attributes that Fields has while still being able to make most NFL throws, and I can't really justify passing on Fields at number 2 assuming he's there. It's just not a decision that can be made, and honestly any new GM that comes in would be stupid to pass on Fields at number 2, especially if Fields does eventually become the next DESHAUN Watson, which I don't know if he will, but you cannot pass on him and risk it. If he passes on him, ends up being the next DESHAUN Watson, that GM is either going to get fired or get hell for the rest of his tenure in Jacksonville, and I can promise him that. Overall, I'd grade Fields as a top 5 pick, and he deserves to go in the top 5. A good floor for Fields, in my eyes, is a Tyrod Taylor with more physical ability and better running ability. A good middle ground for him is I think he'll be a slightly better version of Jalen Hurts. I like that comparison a lot. Maybe not mentally, because I think Jalen Hurts is an amazing leader and he makes every team around him better. I don't know if Fields has quite that leadership. I don't know much about Fields in that area. But physicality and play style wise, I like putting him in that middle ground as Jalen Hurts type level. And as a ceiling, I'd like to see Deshaun Watson. Him and Deshaun Watson are two very similar physical styles. Not so much play styles. Watson has a cannon of an arm, which I would honestly argue is better than Fields clearly. I mean, Jacksonville fans are more than aware with this. And overall, I think they have similar run games. Before Watson tore his ACL, he was a bit faster. And honestly, he was close to field speed. Maybe not exactly field speed, but he was close to it from running the ball. And that's where I'd like to see Fields get. I think Fields can get to Watson level, but I think a safer projection for him is Jalen Hurts type level. Which, I mean, Jalen Hurts just put up an amazing game against the Saints, which were the number one defense in the NFL, and ran for over 100 yards and led the Eagles roster that is mediocre at best and has been struggling with a former MVP quarterback at the helm. So, I mean, do with that information as you will and decide for yourself if you think Fields is the answer or you'd rather see us go after a veteran or what you'd rather us do. Please make sure to tell me in the comments who you believe and make your predictions below what you think Fields will become. Because who knows, 3 years from now he could win an MVP and I could come back to this post and laugh, or he could be out of the league and I could go back to the post and look at people who said he was going to bust. There's so many different attributes. Just make sure you comment your opinion below so we already know it and it's clear as day. And make sure to like this video so more people that are interested in this video can see it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It helps you see the videos easier and ultimately allows you to see more content that I will be continuously posting from now on. And as always, thank you for watching. And if you are still here, I appreciate you very much for watching the entirety of the video. And I put a lot of time into this, and to see people actually enjoy it makes it all worth it. So thank you for watching, and until next time, peace out, Duval.